I'm King News, and I come to you with the truth. The mean streets took 6 more lives overnight, all the result of gang-bang stupidity. By the way, you gangsters should know, one of your victims was a 3-year-old girl. Local gang members, you still don't get it, do you?
It's straight up madness everywhere I look. Used to be a straight A student, now it's a crook robbing people.
Well, hello and welcome to the Mills Connection Show. I'm your host, Carla Mills Tatum, and today's topic is If These Streets Could Talk. I have Dominic Stokes and Art Powell. Welcome so much to the show.
Thank you.
I looked at your promo, and all I can say is I cannot wait until the show tapes, and we're going to include that in it because it's awesome. All right, I got a question. I want to start off a little bit differently. What is your background? Your promo is about gangs. But I'm sitting here looking at two guys that look like businessmen. So tell me, how did you come from where you are now to getting into gangs?
Well, first of all, I'm the founder and CEO of a Community Teen Coalition, which is a youth entrepreneurship and enrichment program. So we work with at-risk youth throughout the city of Atlanta. I actually got into film just over the last year and a half. There has been a 40% increase in gang membership. Currently, there are little over 1 million gang members nationwide. So that was one of the reasons why working with youth and seeing so many kids that are attracted to this lifestyle. So my passion working with them, wanted to try to provide them a better way and an outlet. That kind of was one of the reasons why I decided to come up with this film, to raise awareness, to see what's the attraction, why so many kids are attracted to this lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Why would anybody want to be a part of a gang? You're a former gang member. So why would it, I mean, that doesn't even sound appealing.
Well, actually, what drew me into a gang was I was abused as a child, and I didn't receive any nurturing, any love, and I was clinging, trying to cling to anything that could make me feel like they loved me. And that's what the gang provided for me, and that's what we're seeing with a lot of our young people. I tell parents all the time, you have to constantly give your children affirmations. You have to let them know that you care about them, you care about their education, you care about what's going on in their lives. And if you don't allow them an avenue to express themselves, or you don't show them those things, they're going to go to whatever is providing them love or makes them think they're getting love. And right now, the gangs is the hottest thing smoking. They're giving them, they're selling them that illusion and that dream that I love you, I got your back, I can give you the things you need in life.
Well, that's really sad. How did you two meet, and what made you want to do this for a living?
I can tell you, I can honestly say it was meant to happen. I mean, it was really through the grace of God that I was able to meet Art. Just my outreach in the community, we kind of connect. Heard a lot of things about what Art was doing, and we just connected on that. Right now, we're doing a tour, and we're going around educating young people about this gang lifestyle, and also educating them about the law, the Georgia gang law, where kids are getting mandatory sentences behind this. And so, just like I said, through his outreach, my outreach, we kind of connected with each other on this.
Art, you said that the gangs gave you love, but what other benefit? I mean, there's a lot of kids that are in a gang that have both parents, that are surrounded by love. So what draws them?
Well, just because they have both parents at home doesn't mean that they're receiving the proper love and nurturing from their parents. I see it every day. I work with young people that come from, like you said, both parents at home, staying in $250,000 homes, but their parents are so involved in their life, trying to make a living and trying to keep, try to provide for what they're trying to do, that they lost sync with their children. The media's raising their children. I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at it, you got parents working 2 jobs, or they got corporations or business they're trying to run and maintain. They don't have the time to spend with their children. So, of course, when they look at videos, when they look at movies, look at TVs, they're seeing these images that are attractive. That, guys got on nice jewelry, driving nice cars, men are dating numerous women, and for a young man that doesn't have any sense of what he want to do, that's attractive. You know, because.
But you're saying a young man. When I'm looking at the video and I'm looking at the world, there's just as many women in gangs. What's going on with the women? Why are women looking for that?
Same thing. Same exact reason. I mean, you know, I work with both young men and young women. I mean, it's definitely more young men in gangs than there is women, but I'm seeing an influx of women joining gangs or young girls joining gangs because they're looking for that love. And again, the gangs are making them feel they can give them those things. I mean, you know, prime example, if I'm a young person that's 12 years old, my mother's on crack, and she's going all day, and, you know, I'm out by myself, providing for myself, being unsupervised from 6 o'clock in the afternoon to 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm going to cling to those things or those people that are my reality, and that's their reality. You know, they're clinging to people. If I'm coming from a poverty-stricken area and I don't have clothes or I don't have the things that, you know, that are attractive or you know, my peers will make me feel like I'm important or feel like I'm a part of anything, and I got people that are giving me those tools or giving me those things that make me feel like I'm a part of something, then naturally I'm going to feel a sense of loyalty, and I'm going to feel like these people love me or care for me. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of our kids.
Well, that's kind of sad. What did kids used to do? I mean, I understand what you're saying. People are working, they're doing this, but it's always going to be a situation.
Well, I can just tell you from going out in the community, talking to gang members now, just like Art mentioned, I mean, he lived this lifestyle. His role models were the gang members. That's the thing that these kids are missing. Kids don't, in these communities, and many of our impoverished community, they don't have doctors in their community. They don't have lawyers in their community. So they don't have people that they can look up to. They look up to the drug dealers, the dope dealers, the pimps in the communities. And so that's why there has been an increase in membership, 40% due to the last year, because of the lack of fathers in the home, lack of community involvement. One thing about the gangs, what these kids are missing at home, what they're missing at church, what they're missing in the community, they're getting from the gangs.
All right, I'm seeing a lot on TV about bullying. Bullying is like, do you think that bullying is a problem with that? Why people are going into gangs also? What do you think?
You know, we just had this conversation because we just did a conference called Bullying Breeds Gang Members. And what I want to do was show the correlation with I want to show the correlation with how bullying and gangs intertwine with each other. Historically, it's been proven that a lot of gangs that were started out as social clubs back in the 60s, they end up becoming gangs because a certain group of individuals were being victimized or jumped on by another group of individuals, so they came together collectively to protect themselves. They merged into gangs. What I'm seeing today more is a lot of young people are falling to the pressures of being in a gang. Mm-hmm. One, they don't want to become a victim, so they join gangs or join cliques so they don't have to, be subject to being victimized. Another thing I'm seeing is like a lot of startup gangs, homegrown gangs, or what they call hybrid gangs, trying to get their numbers up and start forming reputations. So what they're doing is they're forcing young people to join their crews or their gangs so they can get a reputation. And I mean, according to the law, if two or more individuals, put somebody in a position where they're threatening them or they feel like they can be subject to some type of harm, that's a form of bullying. And like Dominic was saying earlier, how that intertwines with the Georgia Street Gang Terrorism Prevention Act, which is a law that was implemented in April 2006. If three or more individuals wearing the same name, identifying colors, using hand signs, handshakes, go out and commit a crime, in the state of Georgia, they would do a mandatory 5 years in prison just for that crime. Wow. Not for the law, for that law, not for the crime. That enhances the crimes they committed. So they will, it actually, and they're not running the sentences in concurrent. They're running them consecutive. Prime example, if a young person or a group of individuals break into somebody's house or one of their rival gang members, and spray paint their set name on that wall, they just got 3 charges. They just got burglary, vandalism, and the gang law. They would do a mandatory 5 years for every charge, which they would serve 15 years.
As far as race, I know when I was looking at the promo, most of my friends on Facebook that saw it were like, oh my God, we didn't know white people were in gangs. So I didn't either. I really didn't. So Is this something new, or?
I can tell you it's definitely nothing new. I
Okay.
mean, one thing about gangs, they don't
discriminate. Okay.
Yeah, so basically what we see now, especially when you turn on the news, is majority African Americans
Yes.
that they show on television. But I can say for myself, throughout the documentary for the last year and a half, I just recently interviewed the Asian gang up in the north side of town. So I interviewed Asians, Caucasians, Hispanics, really to try to show and raise awareness that this is a problem not just in the African American community, but throughout every community. And
Where is the most dominance? Like, are there gangs in Buckhead?
they're all over. What we're finding I actually interviewed several law enforcement, even FBI. They're noticing that many of the gangs are being housed, and not only in impoverished communities, but in affluent homes, because they want to fit in. And so they're in $500,000 homes, $1 million homes.
So no, you're not safe
You're
anywhere.
not safe anywhere.
You're not, because the reality behind it is now the gangs have gotten smarter. What they're doing is they're allowing people to buy membership into the gang.
Buy membership?
They're recruiting online. You can go online and join a gang. That's how sophisticated the gangs have gotten. You can go online and join a gang.
And when you're saying you charge, how much money are we talking to join a gang?
$10,000.
Get out of
I'm
here!
serious.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying, but it's a form of extortion because it's for protection.
Okay.
They're actually paying for protection, and and it's a serious issue. People don't understand how serious it is. I mean, what kind of bothers me is that people don't realize that nobody's safe. Just because you don't see it directly, it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you. Because again, like he said, you never know who you connected to that's involved in some type of gang activity, because a lot of the gangs have gotten smarter. They're staying under the radar.
Okay.
They're planting people in in 500 corporations, Fortune 500 corporations, in law enforcement.
You mean you're going to work with people that are in a gang?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Seriously, there have been cases where a lot of gang members are going to the military, getting a training, coming back home, and training the gang members for war. I mean, these are proven facts. So I mean, it's because you got different types of gang members.
All right, for the people, I don't mean to cut you off, but I got a quick question. For the people that are in the audience right now that have children, is there a way that you can tell if your child is in a gang?
If they start to notice that their son or daughter's attitude is starting to change, their style, their dress style is starting to change, pants are sagging, they're starting to rep certain colors. If they're normally, if you see them wearing, for instance, all blue, all red, all black, you need to question those things. On the computer, watch the things that they're looking at on the internet. Also signs, notebooks. A lot of times gang members tend to write their set or whatever gang they belong to on notebooks.
Wait a minute, what's the set?
That's a set is basically the gang that they're representing. So many of these gangs, like Art mentioned, they could be hybrid gangs, or some are known gangs, the Bloods, the Crips, but they would normally write those on notebooks or on anything that they have. It could be a shirt or belongs, or even tattoos, some of the things that you can look for.
I mean, I understand you're looking for love, but do they give you money? I mean, what is it? Give me a ploy, give me an example of what, if I joined a gang, what could they give me?
Okay. I'm going to say, okay, when I was 15, and my mother was working all at night, so I would basically have accessibility to be out at all times of the night. When I was 13, she stopped buying me stuff because she felt like I wouldn't do what she say. So my homeboys are the guys I befriended, who I actually got in my first gang with. They would look out for me. They would give me money, give me clothes, or take me shopping. They just were all, when I was feeling down and out and just didn't have, trying to figure out what I was going to do, they would encourage me, keep me focused, keep me lifted up, and that's something my mother didn't do. So I felt a need to be loyal to them, to be there for them in any way I felt.
So they gave you money, they bought you clothes. Where did they get the money from? How are gang members? They don't work jobs.
They sell drugs.
That's it?
I mean, no, you got smash and grab, armed robberies, sell drugs, they extort people. I mean, there's so many different crimes that, you know.
So a lot of the stuff we're seeing on the news, and of course we're seeing stuff every day. A lot of times you're saying